Girl, she is here. If you're like me, I was following along with that series. I was watching the drama unfold. I was right there crying with them on the finale. I was invested. So let me tell you, there was nothing that was going to keep me from getting this palette. Launch day, I had 4 different tabs open because, girl, I was getting this palette. And a little spoiler, I actually even got a second palette because I'm doing a giveaway. So if you'd like to know how to enter into that giveaway, you have until December 10th to enter, then watch till the end of the video and I give all those details for you. But I am so excited to jump into this palette. I'm going to do kind of like a, I wouldn't say get ready with me, so kind of like a review slash demo of this eye look that I did with the palette. I decided to do something that was like right up my alley, do pinks. I was going to do something different. I wanted to be different, I guess. But then I was like, girl, if I'm going to review a palette, I'm going to do an eye look that I would wear on a day-to-day basis type of deal, so I can see really how the shadows perform. So this is the look that I came up with because I'm extra and I love color, and this is where we're at. So if you'd like to see how I got this eye look and how the shadows perform, then just keep watching. We're gonna go ahead and jump into this. I'm actually, yikes, I just saw myself. So I already did one eye off camera to save time. Because otherwise we'd be here all day because I just talk and talk and talk. And when I talk, I can't do my makeup as fast, and so we'd just be, I did one eye off camera. So I'm going to be taking a Morphe M433. I'm going to go in with Not a Fact, and I'm just going to be packing that onto my crease. Like, I have really hooded eyes, so I'm going to be going right above, wrong eye. I'm going to be going right above that because when I cut my crease, I'm making a new crease. You guys know the deal. So I'm going to be taking, like I said, a Morphe M433, and I'm going to be going in with Not a Fact. So first question is my name. So my name is Destiny Santa Cruz. My middle name is Nicole, and that's why I'm going with Destiny Nicole, because I feel like Santa Cruz is just way too long. And my age, I just turned 23. I have a funny story for you guys, but I'm 23. My birthday is October 11th, so I'm a Libra. But here's a funny story. So we're not minding my nails, right? Because we don't judge here. And they look raunchy. I know. You don't have to tell me. But the story behind that it actually intertwines with my birthday, and that's why I'm bringing it up. But so I got these cute nails done for my birthday, right? And I went to a salon that I don't normally go to, so for one, that's already where I messed up, because it's kind of like guys and their barbers, like how they always go to the same barber. Like, just stick to what you know. Anyways, so I went to a new nail salon, and basically I just got these like coffin shaped black matte nails, okay? Super cute. Next day, my birthday. So I worked that night, and in the morning I went out, and well, comes to find that when I go to leave, my tire's literally gone. Like, my car is on a rock. Like, I'll insert the photo here. The car is on a rock. And mind you, this is my birthday. So there's my boss in the background like, happy birthday, ha, you know, laughing it off. And all I could do is laugh about it. Like, there's not really much else I could do at that point. But I'm just like, what kind of ghetto crap is that? They literally stole my tire. So anyways, then I go home. This all leads into the nails, I promise. Then I go home, and I'm changing my shirt because I'm going to go to breakfast with my mom. And I'm pulling down my shirt, and the nail breaks in half. Splits my natural nail, everything. And if you guys have acrylics, you guys know the pain when this happens. So I'm right there like, oh my God, can my day get any worse? Can it get any worse? Which it did. But that's just So anyways, so those nails, they were so terrible because after that one broke, it was just like one right after another. I literally could bend back the nail and it just just fall off. I've never in my life experienced something like that. I couldn't believe it. Ridiculous. Anyways, I'm going in with pigment and I'm going to be just using that to blend not a fact. So yeah, the whole reason why I was telling you that story. That's why my nails are looking so raunchy right now, because I'm really just trying to let them relax for a little bit before I get another set, because they went through some trauma, girl. Trauma. Just kept bending and breaking, and for the simplest things. It was insane. But for work, because that's the next question, what do I do for work? I'm actually currently a caregiver / CNA type of deal. My current job I'm working at, I'm considered a caregiver there. So that's the field of work that I'm in. I actually come from like a family of people who work in the medical field, so that's what I do for work. I'm just making sure that that's like super blended out. No harsh lines, girl. No harsh lines. When in doubt, blend it out, because it takes time. So after that, oh, and I took that pigment color on another M433, by the way. And for that next, to blend that color out, to blend out pigment, I'm going to take my pills and I'm going to take that on an M330, whatever. And I'm just going to buff that around the edges. If you hear my daughter in the background, it's not a ghost. Well, it might be, but that's another story for another time. I'm convinced my house is haunted, but my daughter, she's in the background, and so if you hear like a little voice or some walking around, that's probably just my daughter. The next question I have on here is goals / ambitions. So that one's kind of like a interesting subject for me, because originally I really wanted to be, so like I said, I come from a family where most of like my tias and everyone in my family comes from the medical field. Is most of them are CNAs, but I have one who's working on an RN. The whole point is I come from a family that comes from the medical field. So my whole life I grew up and I wanted to be like my mom and them. I wanted to be in the medical field. So originally I wanted to go for nursing and then eventually work my way up to nurse practitioner. Now, this is kind of my pickle. I'm one of those people that I'm very passionate about multiple different things. And one of those things, obviously, is makeup. And that has been something that's stayed consistent throughout my life, that I have always loved makeup, like years and years and years. And so if I'm looking at like a practical goal, would be nursing. But if I'm looking at something that I'm like chasing my dreams and doing what I love, it would be this. And that's actually why I started this channel, because I really wanted to connect with people that had the same interest in me and the same love for makeup, because I really don't have that in my personal life. Like my mom, I've gotten her into makeup and she's like gotten into eyeshadow and stuff, but she doesn't love makeup the way that I do. Like I collect makeup, I buy palettes for the packaging, like, you know, this conspiracy palette, like it's more of a love rather than a, oh, let me look nice, you know? So if I'm talking about like following my dreams would be to do YouTube and be successful with it. So that's where we're at with that. And then other than that, like I don't really have much hobbies. When I was a kid, actually, I used to play a lot of different instruments, but after I had kids, I had my son when I was 16 years old. So after I had kids, I had my daughter, they're 3 years apart. So I ended up having her when I was like 20, the way that it all worked out. But after I had my kids, I couldn't really like play instruments anymore because I used to have a piano, but my son would just like bang on the keys. And at first it's cute because you're like, oh, he's musical, he's gonna be so talented. But then it's like when you hear that constantly, you're like, honey, like, please stop. Yeah, so I used to play a lot of instruments when I was a kid, but it's kind of like drifted away that as I got older. I still love music and I listen to all different sorts of music because I love it so much, but it's not something that I actively like participate and play in. So I'm actually going to take pigment on a M433 again, and I'm going to place this in my outer corner because I'm going to do kind of like a half cut crease, I guess. So I'm placing this in the outer corner. And you know what's actually really cool to note that I want to make note of is these shadows. Like, I did my face before going in with these shadows, and I was pretty confident in doing that because I have quite a few of Jeffree Star's palettes and I really don't have problems with fallout as long as you just like tap off the excess just like any other shadow you would need to. And I really don't have a problem with fallout, so that's why I was comfortable doing my face before doing the eyeshadow. But the only issue that I had was with Trish. It did fall down underneath my eye a little bit. I was able to wipe it away. It did stain like the tiniest little bit, but we'll get into that once I do the lid. We took that in the outer corner, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and cut the crease. The most difficult part. So what I do, because like I said, I have such hooded eyes, I take a little, oh, I don't even know what kind of brush this is. It was a brush, I think it's Mata, don't butcher my spelling. I think it's one of those brushes that I got in one of my BoxyCharm boxes, but it's just like a little, I don't know if you can see that, a little angled brush. And I get a really small, tight one because my eyes are so small and I don't have that much lid space. And that's actually also why, if you notice, I take my eyeshadow all the way up to my eyebrows. And I know that that's kind of like controversial because some people don't like doing that. But in my case, I have to because I have such small eyelids. If you hear the little squeaking in the background, it's my guinea pig. He wants attention, and so that's why he's squealing. But he's good. I promise you, he's taken care of and he's good. So I'm going to try not to talk too much while I do this part because I don't want to mess up. So I'll answer one more question before I get started with that. The next question is, what state do I live in? I actually live in Arizona. Not much to say about that. I kind of like my safe haven. Okay, here's my beef with Arizona. It only has one season. It's just hot year round. So that really sucks, but in that same breath, we don't have like natural disasters. Like, I've never had to deal with an earthquake. I've never had to deal with tornado, any of that stuff. The only thing we have is during like summertime, we have these things called monsoons where it just like rains a lot. So really, that's the only thing that we deal with. I don't have to deal with any other type of natural disasters or anything. So it's kind of like my little safe haven because I live in like kind of like a valley type of thing. So I like it in that aspect, but since it's so small, there's not really much to do here. So that's kind of a downfall. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this crease. So I'm going to need to be quiet to focus. So I'm just did like a line of where I'm going to go, and then I'm actually going to take some makeup remover and a Q-tip, and I'm going to clean that Not a Fact color off and cut my crease with like makeup remover because I've just found this is an easier way for me. I just follow along that line. And then this is where I go in with like a little pencil brush, and I'm actually using a Dose of Colors brush. It's a tiny little pencil brush, and I'm going in with that, and I'm just gonna fix where I messed up.
And just bring that color kind of back down.
I'm going to be taking a mixture between that pencil brush, I think it was Mata. I'm going to take that pencil brush and I'm going to reline where that crease was, and then I'm going to take this Luxie 246 Precision Crease, and I'm going to use this one to lay the concealer flat against the lid. And now I'm going to take that same Pixie brush. I'm actually going to take Trish on my finger first, and then I'll go in, try to dust off because I know that this kind of has a little bit of fallout, and I'm just going to tap that right onto the lid. So now that that's like laid down, I'm going to take that Pixie brush, and I'm going to see the little tiny bit of fallout. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to take that Pixie brush and I'm going to go in closer to the spots where my finger couldn't reach. So pretty, look at it, jeez Louise. Okay, so now again I'm going in with Not a Fact and that pencil brush, and I'm just really defining around. Or, oh, let me dust off that little bit of fallout. Trish does kind of like stain just a tiny bit when you go to brush it away. Tiniest little bit, I don't know if you can tell. But I'll try to fix it with powder once I'm all done. Next question is favorite food, colors, scents, etc. I feel like this is a hard topic because I like, for food, I love food. There's not one specific type of food that's my favorite. Yeah, it honestly really just depends on my mood for food, because I'm not a picky eater whatsoever, so I just like to try all kinds of different stuff. I like to eat, I like to like...
It's kind of obvious I like to eat, let's be real.
But yeah, so I don't really have like a favorite when it comes to those things. Same with color. I really like pink. I love pink. But I also really love yellow and just like bright, fun colors. I'm not really somebody who has like a set favorite color. Again, it just kind of like changes and it depends on my mood. So I can't really say that I have a favorite color. But when it comes to scents, I am a little more picky when it comes to that. Personally, like if I'm wearing a scent, I like to be fresh. I like to be like sweet smelling type of smells. But when it comes to my home, I like really homey, deep, like I like a baking smells. Like I like the cinnamon. I like apple pie. I love Christmas smells. Christmas is my favorite time of year because of the smells. Oh my God, it's my favorite. I love Christmas so much. So, my battery died. Sorry if like the lighting changed, the lighting changed outside. I actually kind of think it looks better now, so I guess that's kind of like a bonus. Yeah, so the lighting changed outside, so I don't really have like the daylight anymore, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it still looks good. But we're just gonna go ahead and finish this makeup look because it has been a doozy. So I'm just taking Not a Fact and I was putting that in my outer corner just to deepen that corner. And then we're pretty much almost done with the top of the eye. So I'm just gonna take, honestly, it's just like this little, it's from the Urban Decay Electric palette Throwback. But I'm just taking this little brush and I'm gonna take Ranch and I'm gonna highlight this brow bone. But this white Look at how pigmented it is. It is ridiculous. So I'm gonna have to just kind of blend that with my fingers, and then I'm taking that N330 that I had taken my pills on earlier, and I'm retaking that and blending that bad boy out, because otherwise we're gonna be looking a little crazy. I'm gonna go back in with pigment, and I'm gonna just touch it a little bit back on the above the crease, just to make sure that that color is visible. I'm gonna take just kind of like a little shader brush, if you can see that, and I'm gonna take Not a Fact, and I'm just gonna buff that under my eye. We're just gonna bring all the colors that were up top, we're gonna bring them right back down.
Okay, now I'm taking pigment, and I'm gonna blend that out.
I wanted to bring that down a pretty good bit underneath my eye, just to, I don't know, because why not? Be dramatic, girl. So I'm gonna take my pills again, and I'm just gonna blend that underneath both of those, just to like bring it out, just to, I don't know, smoke it out a little bit. The same one that I used to highlight my brow bone, I'm taking Ranch again, and I'm just gonna pop that in this like little inner corner. Oh my gosh, do you see that? So pretty. Oh my gosh. I gotta blend that out a little bit, because that's like, it's there. She came to the party. So I went ahead and popped on some lashes off camera. I just went with the Ardell Doubles 113 was the packaging. I'm just popping on a little bit of mascara because I was a dummy and forgot to beforehand. Next question, something about your childhood that you miss the most? I would say my friendships. I feel like you don't have the friendships the way that you did when you were a kid. Because now everybody's so busy, like with their jobs, kids, husbands, wives. Like when you're a kid, it's literally just you and that friend against the world. Like you guys don't have worries, you know? So I feel like you just don't have friendships the way you do when you're a child. So I really miss that aspect. I miss my best friend. Her name was Gabby. I lived next to her for years, and you know, you grow up, you move away. I'm super proud of her. She's doing really good for herself now, but I miss that innocence of when you were a kid. And then next question is pets. I'm gonna go in with some highlight. I'm actually gonna use two different highlighters. First one, I'm gonna use Fiji by Kylie, and I'm gonna take that on a Jaclyn Hill, the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill brush on JH09, and I'm just gonna go in with Fiji from Kylie Cosmetics and hit that on my cheekbones and the tip of my nose. Pets, as you heard, I have a guinea pig and I have a fish. My guinea pig's name is Oreo, and my fish's name, I never really officially named him. I just call him Little Dude. He's a beta. Next question is go-to eyeshadow palette. And this isn't just because I'm doing a review of a Jeffree Star palette, but my favorite, look how pretty that is. My favorite eyeshadow palette, like my go-to recently, has been the Jawbreaker palette. I've been using that like non-stop recently. But this one might replace that. I'm hitting that tip of my nose, and then I'm also going to take that right above my lip right here. Another fun question is the dumbest thing I've done in my life. Exist?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Dumbest thing There was this one time when I was a kid with my best friend Gabby. She had a really big family. They had 16 kids. And so they had these like bunk beds, and they were metal bunk beds, and I don't know why, but I thought it was the brightest idea to backflip off the top bunk of a bunk bed. And so I was this close from sticking the landing, okay? But I flipped off and my shins hit the metal so hard, and I just remember like I was just there screaming on the floor. Like screaming, so dramatic, which I didn't actually break my legs, but I'm convinced that my bones like dented. When I run my hand across my shin, I feel like a little dent, if that's possible. I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure it's not in my head, okay? It's dented. But that's probably the dumbest thing that I've ever done in my life. I don't know. And then I'm going to take, did I pull it out? For my second highlighter, I'm taking How Many Carats Fenty Beauty. And looks like this. Pretty. And I'm just going to top that on top of Fiji just because I'm extra when it comes to my highlight. And it's so pretty together. So cute. And then I'm just going to pop on a liquid lip. It is in Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in 606 Whatever Walnut. And I'm going to take that on my lips, and then I'm just going to top it with Diva Kylie Lip Gloss. And for the very last question that I'm going to go in with is my biggest regret. I actually have two. I would say taking so long to start this because of self-doubt. So one of my regrets is doubting myself so much. I'm my own worst critic. I'm so hard on myself. Let me just line my lips really quick and I'll finish talking. My other biggest regret, so I'm going to take some Morphe X Jeffree Star setting spray. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this one makes me more dewy than the normal one. I don't know if that's a thing, but it does for me for some reason. It makes my skin way more dewy. The other biggest regret that I have is letting other people dictate the way I feel about myself. Like settling for less than I deserve and putting other people before, like other people's happiness before my own, if that makes sense. Because I spent so much time trying to please everybody else that I lost myself in the process. And I've, come around and I've learned to realize what I was doing, but I really wish that I would have realized that sooner, because I put myself through a lot of mental turmoil and just sacrificed my own happiness for other people. Sometimes you need to be selfish with yourself, and obviously there's boundaries and extents to that, but you also have to remember that you're important. Your happiness is important, and if you're having to jeopardize your happiness to please somebody else, if that person really cared for you, they wouldn't put you in that kind of situation. So I just wish I would have realized that a lot sooner. And that just got really heavy really quick. So on that note, we're gonna change topics, because that's like a whole video in itself. Like self-worth and self-love is so important. So final thoughts is, We of course knew that the palette was going to be good as far as the quality and pigmentation went, because like I said, if you're familiar with Jeffree Star shadows, I have never had a problem with any of his palettes as far as the pigmentation go and the quality. You know, Jeffree, everything he does it big. So from the packaging, you know, the packaging's amazing. These clips are very sturdy. This is real metal right here. The packaging is gorgeous, amazing, and I will say that I actually, as soon as I got this, before I got to like even sit down and film or anything, I dropped it on the floor. I had a heart attack. I was like, ugh! The air was sucked out of me. So when I opened it and it wasn't broken or anything, I was like, A on packaging. And as far as like the colors and everything go, the color scheme to me is gorgeous. As a lot of people pointed out, the top row, they're neutrals for your everyday looks. Your pops of color, oh, excuse my nail, your pops of color. And then like to deepen it up, kind of like a nighttime look. Or if you're like me and you're extra, you can just walk outside and prance outside with all kinds of color on your lid and call it a day. So it just really, I feel like it's one of those palettes where it's really good for people that are beginning, because it does have those neutral options, but it's also really good for people that are experienced in makeup, because you have those fun pops of colors and ways to just kind of play with the palette, so you can come up with a lot of different looks because of the different shadows. I definitely think that they did amazing, and I really wish that I got to get the rest of this collection, but in due time. So I definitely think that if you were wanting to splurge when it comes to the restock in early next year, you definitely should. That leads me into my next thing. So guess what, guys? I actually got a second palette so that I can do a giveaway for you guys, because I know that it was like so impossible to get a hold of. So I took one for the team and I got a second palette so that I can do a giveaway for you guys. For this giveaway, all I'm asking you guys to do is subscribe to my channel. Do something a little fun, like tell me what your favorite shade is in the palette or what drew you to the palette, and then also leave down below where I can get a hold of you if you are the winner, like your Instagram, whatever. And I am going to say that this is 18 and over. If you're under 18, you really need to get your parents' permission to enter into this giveaway, because your girl does not have enough coins to get sued. So make sure you have your parents' permission or you're 18 and older. And also the only other thing that I'm asking is that you're in the US, because this is my first giveaway and I don't really know how it works, like shipping overseas and stuff. So eventually I'll be able to do something like that. But for this specific giveaway, we're going to do US, 18 and up, unless you have your parents' permission. And then, like I said, just comment down below, and you have to make sure that you're subscribed to my channel, because I will be checking. So I had a lot of fun playing with the palette today. I actually have a lot of fun ideas and new looks that I have in mind coming up. So if you guys would like to see more looks with this palette, or as well as other palettes, and just have fun hanging out with me, then please subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you like the eye look, and I'll see you in the next one.